Hi guys, as promised I wanted to go through my flower remedy mix that I made for myself yesterday. So thank you to those of you who are interested and want to find out what I'm doing for myself these days. To remind you, if you can see, that is my blend, and over here was the list I was considering for myself, so you can see quite a bit more. And that's because once you get into flower remedies, you can see that you might feel like all of them apply to you. To refresh your memory, flower remedies work on the emotional level. So it is helping to balance emotions that we feel are out of balance in our system and that are causing us problems. I think all of us, no matter what stage we are in life, whether we're kind of on an up cycle and things feel pretty good, or we're kind of really in a low place, we all feel like there are things that we would like to balance out and that aren't working perhaps as well as they could in our system. And I have been using flower remedies personally for a few years. I had severe postnatal anxiety, so severe that I don't think I realized I was that anxious, if that makes sense. It's kind of only reflecting back now and actually talking to people in my life who I guess were pretty worried about me at the time that I realized how far I've come, really. And flower remedies, I strongly feel, have been a big part of that journey for me. They've also just been magical for my kids. And so for a long time, I was taking anxiety remedies, and these were very helpful to me, and some depression remedies as well, kind of a classic postnatal picture. And my youngest children are now 2, and I find that I think that, kind of the lightness that comes with having kids that are kind of through those first few years, combined with the bean protocol and sorting out my gut. And I must really credit the Kundalini too. I feel like my whole system is strengthening and I'm in a much different place. So I'm taking a much different mix right now. And for myself, I've settled on pine, elm, larch, wild oat, hornbeam, rockwater, and vervain. And I will explain those very briefly right now. Pine is for feelings of guilt, amongst other things, but I'm taking it for guilt because that is a classic mother feeling, I think, and I'm really trying to do a lot of different things right now. And I don't always feel like I'm giving my best to my kids. I'm doing the best I can, but there are just, guilt is a feeling that comes up for me constantly around family life. So I felt like I've never taken it before, and I feel like this is a good time for me. I'm now also taking elm because I have a lot going on, and elm is for people who perhaps feel a little bit overwhelmed with the number of responsibilities they have. But flower remedies have both a positive and a negative side. So when we're taking them, we're more often thinking about the negative side because we're trying to improve that negative experience that we're having, but we can also be trying to call in some of the positive attributes. And elm people are really wonderful because they can take on a lot, and they're very responsible and they're sturdy, and people can really rely on them. But if you're feeling overwhelmed and like there's too much, it's a good remedy to take. I've never taken it before, even that's probably been appropriate for a long time, so I'm giving it a go now. And then I'm also taking larch. Larch is for confidence. Confidence, because I'm stepping forward, guys, and talking to you all the time pretty much, and putting together services and different ideas for how I want to come out into the world after being so inward for so long. And being so inward for so long, I find that my confidence needs a little bit of a boost. So I've never taken that one before either. It's such a different picture for me now that I feel like my anxiety is really at bay. So we'll see how that one goes. Wild oat. Wild oat is for finding your life purpose. I have taken this one before, and it's been a long journey, and I think I'm still on it to finding what I'm meant to be doing. But that is the question I'm interested in right now, not just picking something at random, but I really want to be led down a path that I feel like is my calling. And wild oat is said to really help with that. So we'll see how that goes. Hornbeam, I've never taken before, and I never thought I would need, because I have a lot of energy and I have a lot of ambition and drive. Capricorn rising. But hornbeam is for, they describe it as that Monday morning feeling, like you're tired just at the thought of doing something. And I feel like I've got a lot of stuff going on, and it's not necessarily exhaustion, but sometimes I feel like I'm procrastinating, or I'm not doing things, I'm not working as smart as I could because I'm putting off things that might seem more challenging or more tiring. And I want to break out of that, so I'm hoping hornbeam can help me. And then the last two, rockwater and vervain, are ones that I feel like really speak to my type as a person. Rockwater is incredibly perfectionistic. It can be really hard on ourselves, and I find particularly in relation to my body, I have very high standards for what I expect my body to be capable of, and that's both how it looks physically and how it feels internally. Like I spend a lot of time trying to curate my body, not just to look and feel beautiful and vital, which is important to me, but to be as healthful and vital and full of energy as I can, so I can do all of these things that I want to do, because I have a lot of stuff I want to accomplish. And that's really wonderful in a lot of ways. I think that I prioritize that, something I think not everyone feels that they are able to do, and I've never been in that situation. I've always very deeply felt my own needs and really prioritized them. But I think that I'm now in a place where I'm starting to look at the balance and trying to find where I can grant myself more ease and release some of this control and still be okay. Sleep is a big thing for me because I've always been very precious about my sleep, and I'm realizing that I probably need to let go of sleep a little bit, at least while I'm doing my Kundalini training. I'm doing like 2 hours of Kundalini a day on top of exercise and making fresh food for my kids and doing all the stuff I do. So I'm hoping rockwater come through for me, help me out. And then vervain, it was my type. I was a lawyer. Vervain is, I think of it as like a politician remedy, even though that's not how I would describe myself, but it's like you are enthusiastic and you have really strong convictions, and you want to talk about them, and it's kind of everything I do on this platform. I'm really trying to speak to people and educate them, and I have very strong ideals. I can be very zealous, and I'm aware that that can be off-putting. And I'm not taking vervain because I feel necessarily like that's out of balance in my life, but I really want to call forth the positive attributes of this type, which is someone who can be very persuasive and motivating and galvanizing, and again, has lots of energy. And I do feel intrinsically like that's who I am as a person. And I haven't, even though it's been recommended to me that I take vervain before, I've really wanted to focus on my anxiety previously, so I've never really taken it. And now I'm going to, and we're going to see what happens. So that's what's in my remedy bottle, guys. I hope that you found that instructive. And I love making flower remedy mixes for people. It is such a joy, such a pleasure. I enjoy the consultation process. I like putting things together. I get really strong intuitive senses of what is right for people. And if you're interested, let me know. They're pretty self-explanatory. You can also, pick stuff up yourself, but I think sometimes it's useful to speak to other people. I do this myself because we can't always see what's going on for ourselves. So if you're curious, get in touch. Check out my website, geminirising.me, and have a fabulous day.